Thank you to everyone who's joined so far, our webinar on boosting career success with professional certifications. My name is John Knott, and I head up the global academic sales team at PeopleCert. And I'm also joined by my colleague, Mark Hudson, who is our global academia manager. We're going to be running the presentation this afternoon. I'll start the presentation and outline the importance of professional certifications in the job market, and also the benefits of professional certifications to students. I'll then hand over to Mark, who will outline how institutions can better support their students with the offers that we have from PeopleCert. And I'll pick up again with the next steps. I'd like to point out at the beginning of the presentation that we are offering people who attend the webinar an exclusive opportunity to trial our brand new official e-learning resources. So if you're able to hang on to the end of the presentation, fill out the short survey, we will ask that you provide your name and email address. Then we'll be able to provide you with free access to our brand new official e-learning resources shortly after the webinar. So that's certainly something worth hanging on for, we think. So without further delay, let's get started. So as I said, I'm going to outline the importance of professional certifications. As we all know, the world of work is changing really at an unprecedented pace. It's reshaping the way industries are operating at a global scale. And we're hearing the news about innovations in artificial intelligence, automation, and digitization. And the stuff of science fiction, even just 10 years ago, is now part of our daily lives. We can ask computers to create things for us, to write poetry, to write stories, to make artwork, and we can do all of that sort of thing just with our voice. This is revolutionizing the way that traditional businesses work and the processes behind them. It is revolutionary in all sorts of industries, including healthcare, finance, manufacturing, and transportation. And this is impacting job roles. As technology replaces certain job functions, it is creating a shift in skills. And there is a growing need for reskilling and upskilling to match those needs of industry. And employers are now valuing more diverse skills, such as adaptability, collaboration, and multidisciplinary knowledge. There is a requirement for continuous upskilling and lifelong learning, and skills refreshment and professional development, not just for students, but for all workers. And there is a real importance now on those human skills, the creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving that are less susceptible to automation, that computers still haven't quite mastered. And academic institutions play a crucial role in preparing students for this evolving job market. They need to instill the importance of adaptability and continuous self-improvement, and they need to provide flexible curricula and learning experiences that align with the career aspirations of students and the evolving needs of industry. So not only have institutions got to weather the global market forces, they have their own unique institutional pressures as well. One of those is the upward trend in global student mobility. So over the past decade, there's been a significant rise in the number of students seeking education outside of their home countries. Students now are seeking more diverse learning environments. They're looking for specialist programs. They're often looking for universities that will provide a global perspective. They're looking for education programs that support their own personal needs and offer the best employability opportunities. The impact of technology and online learning has democratized access to quality education worldwide and has put extensive pressure on traditional institutional models as they need to compete with new providers in the education space. And students' shift in their own decision-making is impacting universities. Students now have access to extensive information about various institutions, programs, and their outcomes. Students are looking for quality. They're making judgments on reputation, on cost, and importantly, those postgraduate and career opportunities. Students today have much higher expectations of the institutions, and institutions now need to take more consumer-orientated approaches to delivering the best value they can, quality education and career-focused programs to meet those students' expectations. Okay, so there's also a need to ensure that students are not only academically competitive, but also equipped with the right skills for their future careers. We hear a lot now about the skills gaps, and institutions need to ensure that students are equipped with those skills to best prepare them for future careers. The skills gap is mostly being powered really by technology advancements, as I've already talked about. Job roles require different mixes of skills, often emphasizing digital literacy, critical thinking, problem solving, and as I mentioned, adaptability and creativity. And the needs for those jobs are continually evolving and changing. And this creates an educational and training lag. Educational institutions may not be able to keep pace with the rapid changes in industry, leading to a lag in training programs and university curricula. The skills taught in an academic setting may not align with those in the job market. So professional certifications have a real job to help align workforce skills with employer needs. They validate and enhance an individual's expertise and competencies in specific fields, and they help bridge the gap between academia and industry. They standardize skill validation so employers can recognize the skills students have. They align with industry requirements. Professional certifications are often actually written with or by industry experts specifically to fill the gaps in the skills gaps in their organizations. They also act as a roadmap to acquire the right sets of skills that are needed both for employers and for the students to be able to equip themselves with the education they need. They meet employer expectations. They show candidates possess the skills and knowledge that they're looking for and are committed to maintaining and enhancing their skills over time. And they show and promote continuous learning, and they fill the specific skills gaps in emerging areas in industry. And finally, they enhance students' employability skills and provide a tangible demonstration of professional growth, provide career enhancement opportunities, and support those who are looking to shift their careers. So universities are now looking much more carefully at their curricula and how they can begin to bring these professional certifications into their opportunities for study. So how are universities bridging their skills gap? Well, they're being more responsive to industry, providing industry responsive education. They're beginning to align their curriculums to meet industry need. They're integrating the latest trends, technologies, and skills into their curricula and programs of study. And they're doing that through collaboration with industry, or certainly the best institutions are. They are providing continuous learning opportunities. So they're providing not just the traditional undergraduate or even postgraduate students with opportunities to learn, but they're providing continuous learning for a wider set of participants. They're providing support to industry who want to upskill their workers. So that importance of upskill and reskilling courses, often focused on short adaptable skills such as micro-credentials. And universities are promoting, or should be promoting, lifelong learning, offering education and professional development to help learners reskill and re-engineer themselves for the changing job market. So these changes bring a range of benefits for students. Professional certificates mean that students have higher job prospects. They offer the student a competitive advantage. If one student has a professional certificate qualification over another student, they are more likely to be hired. They demonstrate to that employer that they have the necessary skills. so they're more likely to be brought on board. Students with professional certifications earn higher salaries. The professional certs open doors to career advancement, promotions, and we know that, for example, with ITIL and Prince 2 certificates, that students can earn 20% more. There is also increased career mobility for those students. So they're more likely to be able to advance their careers because they can demonstrate the skills required by employers. They're also more likely to move into leadership positions because of the additional training they've taken on, and they're more adaptable and future ready to be of more value to employers. And there are significant benefits for universities to take on professional certifications. That is, to increase student enrollment and retention. Adapting curricula shows commitment to providing education linked to industry, and that therefore attracts more students. There is more chance that students will find jobs after university, and almost every university in the role has some form of measure of career advancement for graduates. So adapting professional certifications is more likely to enhance your curriculum and improve graduate outcomes. And it provides your university with a competitive edge in the market. As we've already outlined, students are much more selective with the universities and institutions they want to study in. And if you're able to enhance your degree with a professional certification, then there's a chance that student may be more likely to choose your institution. So what I've hopefully done over the last just few minutes really is outline the market forces that are shifting and changing job roles, the importance of the skills gap, and for universities to prepare their students to meet the demands of industry, and that actually professional certifications have benefits for students, tangible benefits in terms of more likely to get a job and more likely to have higher earning potential, and the tangible benefits for universities, increasing enrollment, retention, student outcomes, and making universities more competitive. So now I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Mark, who will outline how PeopleCert are helping universities and students be prepared for those challenges. So I will continue to steer the slides, but Mark, over to you.
Thank you, John. Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Hudson. I'm based here in London, in the UK. Thank you very much for giving up some of your, no doubt, very, very busy schedule today to take the time to listen to what we have to offer universities. So John's outlined some of the key kind of changes that are taking place in the higher ed space globally. And really what we've been seeing as a result of that is a kind of ever increasing number of inquiries from universities who basically say to us, hey, dear PeopleCert, we're interested in providing your certifications to our students as part of a course of study or alongside a course of study. How can we do that? Now, I'd say that probably 4 or 5 years ago when I started here, that the requests were primarily from the US. But I'd say that in the last 18 to 24 months, from then in particular, we're now seeing kind of requests globally with that kind of question. So in response, we have developed what we're calling the snappily titled Accredited Academic Partner Program. And John, if you just move on to the next slide. Just before I take you through the details of the program, I'm just going to introduce PeopleCert a little bit. So PeopleCert is based in Athens and London with kind of colleagues around the world. And we develop best practice frameworks and certifications. We manage exams and deliver certifications. Primarily within kind of IT and digital transformation, as you can see there from the sort of the wheel, I guess, project management, business and languages. In terms of language cert, which is a top left corner there, we also assess English, Spanish and classical Greek language skills with sort of CEFR aligned criteria. We have a number of test centers around the world, and also we have almost 2,000 universities recognizing the English language certificates as kind of proof of entry. And they're also recognised by a number of government institutions, such as here in the UK, with the Home Office for the CELT exams for visa entry. The business and IT certifications are delivered through a global network of independent training organizations. I think we've got about 2,500 of those globally. And more of those are universities. So John, if you just move on to the next slide. One thing we haven't talked about in terms of the changing HE landscape is the fact that in the case of PeopleCert, we also partner with a large number of companies of all shapes and sizes. Obviously, kind of this slide shows some of the large global organizations, but we actually partner with over sort of 50,000 organizations who benefit from our certification training via our training organizations. And really, apart from the changes to universities and students, it was also industry who was starting to say to us, you know what, we would like you guys as the owners of these certifications to engage with higher education, to inform them about the certifications, because from our perspective as industry, when these students graduate with a certification alongside a course of learning, they're much more employable. They can really kind of hit the ground running. They can be effective from week one. As business, we don't have to spend money getting them kind of trained up. So obviously for them, there's clear benefits. And, John was talking about the fact that if a graduate has a certification versus one who doesn't, clearly their chances of getting employed are much higher. Thank you, John. So we have kind of really, I guess, two kind of key sort of areas, two ways almost that you guys can partner with us. The kind of option one is the accredited academic partner, which is where you become a sort of fully fledged partner, if you like, and I'll take you through the details of that in just a sec. The second option is via our very newly launched e-learning. We're just providing ITIL Foundation at the moment, but very soon we'll launch Prince 2 and other certifications in the future. And that's an option where you can provide that almost as like a reseller option straight to students. Thanks, John. So the accredited academic partner option, the first thing to say is that you have access to the entire portfolio of qualifications. So you have significant flexibility to kind of decide, which qualifications, which certifications you want to accredit in. The course materials are designed for learning in a whole different ways. So self-paced, hybrid, virtual, classroom. We have examples where it's completely online on demand. We have examples who just do classrooms. We have examples who do sort of a mixture of those. The top right-hand side there, special institutional pricing. So if you are a university institution, you get access to heavily discounted student pricing for the certifications, but there's also no fees of any kind. So there's no kind of accreditation fees. There's no initial fees to become a partner. There's no kind of ongoing or annual fees. The only fees payable are for the exam bundle. If in terms of becoming a partner, if your nominated trainer doesn't have the required certification, we will provide him or her with a free exam voucher so that they can become certified. And you also have access to 15%, up to 15% of the course materials for course delivery. So for example, if you're doing a kind of generic MBA or a sort of business management course, etc., you may want to include aspects of Prince 2 to sort of, to outline key kind of project management objectives. You can do that. We also provide co-branded marketing materials, and we're very keen to sort of promote you via our sort of PeopleCert network, kind of LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. And we sort of really encourage you to sort of, to work with us to sort of provide blogs or case studies, etc. Earlier on, I mentioned the sort of language cert part of the business. We also have a sort of added incentive for the pricing, whereby if your institution chooses to recognize language cert, and obviously some of you on the call may already do that, you get a sort of additional discount off the business and IT bundle as well. But obviously, kind of if and when we meet with you, sort of for future conversations, we can take you through this in more detail. Thanks, John. I mentioned the official e-learning. this is just been launched pretty much, I think, this month or last month, but obviously, as you'd hope and expect, there's kind of a comprehensive course content developed by PeopleCert authors. You can learn and practice at your own pace. It's kind of compatible with your iPad, your phones, etc., as you wish. Very much a kind of dynamic content, whereby it's kind of bite-sized, engaging, and interactive learning. So actually, if you are choosing to provide this as a sort of reseller, you don't have to have your own trainer. So if you don't want to become a partner for various reasons, you can just kind of choose to provide the e-learning directly to your students. Thanks, John. Okay, so this intentionally busy slide just aims to give some examples of some of the universities that we work with, just to kind of give you a sense that the partnerships are very much global. There's sort of a number of other ones as well, but just to give that. And John, if you just move on to the next slide. Obviously, you'll all be highly aware that within the university system, there's kind of a whole number of different areas, and the partners that I was just showing there use their partnership with us to provide training and certification in a number of different parts of the university. And I think I was saying earlier, there's kind of significant flexibility in how you may want to make use of your partnership with us. So, for example, you may want to sort of include a certification as a sort of compulsory part of a course. You may want to sort of provide it as a sort of bolt-on or a kind of student add-on for those who might be interested in doing it as a sort of optional extra. Obviously, there's kind of continuing education and corporate learning. So some of our partners provide short courses to corporate, to alumni, as a way obviously to raise revenue for the university. But obviously also many universities have pretty sizable internal staff departments, and therefore some of them use it as well to sort of train their own staff. So very much flexible in terms of sort of how you may want to make use of your accreditation. John, I think you're going to hand over now to talk about next steps.
Yes, thanks, Mark. So we wanted to keep this presentation relatively short. I don't think anyone likes sitting through very long, extensive online presentations. Hopefully we've given you a bit of context for the market, for professional certifications, and really why they're valuable. And actually the reality that many universities now are really looking very seriously at putting them into their curriculums to support their students and also offer more opportunities of learning to a wider group of students as well. So to become an accredited partner, please do get in touch with us via the email address or complete the details in the survey after the call. We'll happily set up a one-to-one meeting, take you through more details of the program and the kind of discounts that students are available. And they are significant in terms of the discounting compared to what a student would pay in their professional career. And we would like to offer you opportunities to trial for free our e-learning by completing the survey. The survey at the end of the session is typically anonymous, so we won't see who has completed it unless you provide your name and email address. So for those who will provide their name and email address, we will then follow up and set up a trial of the e-learning software, and that'll give you a feel for the kind of content that is involved, certainly with our qualifications, and then also the quality of the actual resources themselves. So could launch the survey. Thank you. Thanks very much to everybody who attended. Hope the session was useful. Please do get in touch with us if you want to discuss any more details, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.